Oh, okay. Hi, hello, hello. Hello. Good morning slash afternoon. Well, it's like noon for me, but hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Hello, hello. How are we doing today? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Watch me fail miserably. No, it's okay. I'm doing good. That's good, that's good. How are you doing? Um, I'm in tearing hell, but I think you know that already. It's okay, I take breaks sometimes. Sometimes. Um, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to play this game. Uh, turn on the sound effects. Okay, maybe not that much. We'll go 75.
I'm decreasing! No!
Potato mode. I don't know what that is. I don't know what any of these mean. Anyways. You need to have a break longer than 20 minutes? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Can I go tutorial? Yes, okay. Oh. Can I just do a tutorial for everything? What if I just... I'm just gonna figure it out. Very easy? Okay, let's just go easy. Cause very easy makes me sound bad. What is this? What is this? Wait, what? Wait. What is this? Huh? I don't know what that was. Okay. I don't know who's playable in this game. Okay, we have Fubuki, Suisei, Koyori, Korone, Sora, Ina, Ayame. Wow. Oh my gosh, Pekora. The art is so cool. Um. Oh, there's difficulty levels. No, wait! I didn't want to click that. Oopsies. Why is it difficulty 6 stars? Okay, let's start with someone easy, maybe. Oh my gosh, hi Rain. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm too lazy to do the tutorials. Who would you recommend to play first? Can you fight Rain in this game? Probably. I'm gonna get clapped. Ignore the stars, pick who you like and stick to it. Oh, okay. I kind of want to go Ollie. Okay. Whoa. There's colors. Oh my gosh. Iron Mouse. Wow. Locked. Why there's so many? There's so many. Wait, I need them all. We'll just go original. Or should we go festive? We'll go rainbow colors. Choose collab. Oh, is this who we're fighting? Oh my gosh. Who should I fight? We'll go random. Oh. Well, I don't really. Wait. What's off collab? Is that like a supporter or something? There's Miku colors? Wait, I need them. This looks a little familiar. We'll just go original here. I started with Totoro because I liked her, but now I play Ina. I guess we'll just try out everyone today. Choose collab. Random. I'm just gonna fight. Wow. Wait, these are so cool. You have to play arcade mode for currency. Oh, okay, okay. We'll just go random. I don't know the controls at all. What's the attack button? Is this the loading screen?
Say hi to the
Okay.
viewers. Live.
What's the attack button? Wait, what? Wait, what? Which one of these is the attack button? Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. Huh? Oh, you can grab. Okay. Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Have you never played Smash? I play on controller. I don't know what I'm doing with the keyboard. Space is item. Oh. I'm getting clouds up on easy by the bot. Okay, where's the combos? I want to see. I keep pressing the wrong button. This one? Oops. Can you use your controller on this game? I don't know. My controller has like issues with connection, so it takes a while to set up. That's why I haven't played any. I haven't played Hollow Knight in a while, or Genshin, or Star Rail. some directional combos aren't possible without controller. Darn it! Oh my gosh. Should I get boba? Yeah. Cause I was gonna get boba. I was gonna get bubble tea and then it started snowing. Like crazy. I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna wing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah! Oh, what? There's more? I'm just spamming buttons. I don't think it's working. Yeah, I don't think the keyboard smash is working. Oh my gosh.
See you next time.
Do you want me to bring you some? Yeah! Please! That'd be great. Yeah, actually. I think you're ready for the hardest bot. No. 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 This was easy and I was struggling. I think it's cooked. This is so cool though. I'll call you in a bit to ask what you want. Okay. Where are you going? Where are you getting it from? Um, let's let's. I want to keep trying with Ollie. I want to figure it out first. What is this? Oh, it's so cute.
Let's get this stream started.
No! 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 I'm getting clapped. I'm getting clapped by the bot.
Let's go again.
What the heck? Guys, are we sure this is easy? Oh my gosh, I can propose. It's a warm up, warm up, warm up. Oh my gosh. I'm getting clapped. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. It just cooked. Help, 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 help. Off clap, please. Hmm. That's crazy. Suicide's the only thing stopping you from getting in a fight. True, true. If I want my T400, I need to beat Suicide. Okay. verify motivation is real. Oh. Whoa. What was that? Oh, that's crazy. I'm just spamming buttons. I don't know what I'm doing. Guys, I think I'm cooked. Oh. Oh, Rain called me like 2 minutes ago. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. Hi, I'm back. Um. Um. I think it's cooked. I think it's actually cooked.
Say hi to the viewers. Live.
Their sprites are so cute though. Okay, wait. I need to. Oh. Oh. Oops. Gachikoi Rush. Oh, what's this? Wait, what's H? Okay. Wait, I want to try that. Where is she getting? Oh my gosh. Ground bounces opponents. Interesting. Wait, I want to try it. It's not working. Okay. No! No! Wait. How does one do the... Okay, maybe I should go very easy to test. Okay. Okay. Why am I getting clapped on easy mode? This is so cooked. Very easy, yes, please. I don't know what this is. Okay. I'm determined. I feel like I should probably read those. Let's go, Maddie. Okay, we'll go Susei here again.
Hi, honey.
It's the no controller nerf. Yeah. It's just because it's on keyboard. Yeah, totally.
Let's get this stream started. Live. Heads up. Yes, thanks. Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. What was that? Yay! Okay, wait. I don't get it. Can I not do it on keyboard? What does star specials mean? Breakout combos. Oh! What's the star meter? Is it different than the super chats? The yellow bar? The big one? At the bottom? Also, hi! Star is different from super chats. Okay. Wait, which one's super chats? Is it the small one? Oh, super chat's the blue one? Oh.
See you next stream.
Now I want to see how the hard AI looks if the easy was already hard. No, I'm gonna get. They're gonna beat me in like 2 seconds.
Welcome to the show. Live.
Okay. These attacks are so funny. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Welcome back.
I love this attack, it's so funny. Okay, I think I'm learning slowly.
See you next time.
I think I'm learning slowly.
Victory.
I'm getting used to Ollie, I think. What happens if I switch characters? Is that a bad idea? Let's try Soda.
Sora.
Oh my gosh, these are so cute. I'll just go the original one. I want to try someone else.
Koyori.
Oh, these are so cute. Maybe it'll be easier since you're learning the controls. Maybe.
Let's get down to business. Live.
Okay. Oh. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's so funny. The basic stuff applies for everyone, so you can find out who you like anytime. Yeah, I want to try everyone. Wait, this is so funny. I like this attack. this mean?
Thanks for watching.
Wait, I love that. That's so funny.
Victory.
Ringo's bullying the bot. Yeah, because they're bullying
Say
me.
hi to the viewers.
This is so cute.
Let's go again.
Oh, whoa! What the heck? That's mean.
Final stream.
I don't know. In Smash, I usually just button mash. I only play 2 characters. I'm that one person that's annoying and only plays Kirby. And Ice Climbers for some reason. Oh, I found the one I was looking for last time.
Victory.
Okay. Let's try Fubuki. Oops. Oh. I guess I'm fighting Ollie. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Ooh, spinny. Okay, okay. I'm slowly getting the hang of it, I think. I like the spin attack. I like spinny characters, I guess. Because I like Sora's little spinny attack too.
Thanks for watching. Victory.
It's all about the spin. Yeah, I like the spin. Doesn't Kirby also have a spinny attack? I don't know, I haven't played Smash in so long. Let me spin! Wait, how did they get the block thing? I'm confused. Wait. There's gotta be... Whoa! Oh my gosh, corn. Okay. Spin!
See you next stream. Victory.
Wow! Wait, I kinda like her. I kinda like Fubuki. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Ringo's about to become top 5 players in this game. No! I'm gonna be like bottom 5.
Say hi to the viewers. Live.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my gosh. She has a chainsaw. I don't watch Hollow Live. So... Their sprites are so cute though. Wait, where's the chainsaw? What's the... Wait, I'm trying to find the chainsaw. Oh. I found it. Yay! Okay, I think I'm getting the gist of it. my gosh.
You're choosing me?
I love how they cosplay as each other. That's so cute. Okay.
Let's get down to business. Live.
Whoa! What was that? Did she have a spinning one?
Welcome back.
Every cosplay's a reference. Yeah! They're so cute. Whoa! Whoa! What's this? Alt? That's so cool.
KO. See you next stream. Victory.
I need the Miku
Let's
cosplay.
get this stream started. Live.
I'm trying to find the fire one. Oh, she can fly. I don't remember what it was. Ina's just standing there in the corner watching me struggle. Oh, I found it.
Time for a nap. KO. And we're back. Live.
Oh. This is so cool though. That's a huge chunk of my HP bar, but it's so cool.
KO. See you next time. Victory.
Wait, do they all have like animations like that? That's so cool. Okay, let's try Ina.
Ina. Let me sleep. Bow time. 이거죠.
Oh my gosh. I haven't fought her yet. Almost half of the characters might have one of those. What? Wait, that's so cool.
Say hi to the viewers. No more boy. No more boy. No. I tackled you.
Oh, she spins too.
See ya. Let me illustrate. Eat this.
Ina did an illustration for Prosecca. It was so pretty. I saw it on Prosecca Twitter. I was like, wow, anniversary. This is nice art. And then I see Ina tagged in it. I'm like, what? I was like, that's crazy. I'm losing. Okay. I like the spinny.
Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. Hello there. Hey, let me tell my team. Let me illustrate. KO. Let's go again. Live.
Okay, Ina's kind of hard.
No. Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. Take this.
Oh, what was that?
Straight.
I love her animations though.
Point. 이거 go. Let me illustrate. Pain and suffering. Come forth. That's enough. Let me illustrate. Pain and suffering.
This game is so cool.
Thanks for watching. Victory.
Wow. I don't think Ina's for me though.
Oshi. Ganbare, ganbare.
I don't get all the references. Cause I don't watch Hollow Live.
いくよ。
Very hard is for sure very hard. Yeah.
Let's get
This
down
is
to
very easy.
business.
Oh my gosh. What is this? She attacks with her hair? That's so cool. This kind of feels like I'm bullying a little child. Because the height difference is so funny. To be very hard, you gotta know what you're doing with it. Yeah, then I'm cooked. This small child is beating me though.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Big muscle man versus hollow JP height comparison. Yeah. Like this is just bullying. It'd be more bullying if I was actually winning, but you know. All her bars are full, I'm kinda scared. Maybe next time I'll connect my controller. Oh my gosh. Okay. No! That was close.
See you next stream.
Yeah, I don't think her gameplay's for me either. Okay, Pegora. This is fun.
Welcome to the show.
I'm terrible at it, but it's fun. Wait, is Pegora that tall or is she short? Oh my gosh. Oh. We're gonna use more of the spin attack characters. Yeah, I like Fubuki. Oh. That one went so much faster than the last one.
Victory. Let's get this stream started.
Oh, interesting. interesting. I like this. It helps that Ayame has less health and Pekora does damage.
Let's go again.
Oh, I guess so. Maybe I should... Maybe I should... Like someone else then. Wait, did I skip Suisei? I don't think I played Suisei yet.
KO. See you next stream.
That's crazy.
Victory.
I think I skipped Suisei.
Suisei.
Oops.
Hi, honey. Pekora.
Oh,
Kampika, kampika, kampika.
okay.
Say hi to the viewers. Live.
Wait, what does this one do? Interesting. Or oh my gosh. Wow.
Welcome back.
I thought I was gonna get clapped. Whoa. What the heck? I think my favorite was Fubuki so far. And Ollie. Suisei is very offensive low defense. Oh, that makes sense.
Victory.
Yay! Oh my gosh. This one looks like a Lisa from Pokemon.
이거죠.
You can buy Flayon and Octavio's Oshi mark in the shop? Really? Okay, wait. Maybe I play arcade mode. I need those.
Let's get down to business.
They're for displaying in online lobbies. Oh.
네, 이거죠. 네. 오, 이따. 미시를. 으쌰. 네.
Whoa. That was cool. Ringo's gonna be grinding this game to get the Oshi marks. Yeah! I need those. Oh my gosh, I had a break from my tearing last night to watch the collab. Which one did I watch? The Among Us collab. But then my Wi-Fi was being bad, so I couldn't even watch the whole thing anyway. I was so sad. Whoa, shopping cart. You gotta go shopping. Yeah, maybe we'll check it out after this. Oh, hi, Snapchat 12. Break from tearing, yeah.
Victory.
I think I stopped tearing around like 5 p.m. Wait, do I get currency from that? I was just doing this one though. Where's the shop? Wait, I want to see what's in there.
My name is Takanashi Kiara, part-time warrior and founder of this fine establishment, and I will be serving you today.
Whoa.
Please take a seat and order what you like.
Hi, Kiara.
Unfortunately, we're still checking down the little that has been stealing shelves full of our chicken, so we will be a variety shop for the time being. Feel free to look around anyways. Just don't check that door in the back.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. I bet they're all at the bottom, probably, right? Yes.
Okay, now
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll go.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes. Buy more
Yay.
and become a
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Yes.
lifelong
Oh my gosh.
customer. Thank you.
Wait, there's so many things you can buy. Wow. Oh my gosh. You gotta click them again to equip them, like in the shop?
No window shopping.
Oh.
Okay, now
Yay!
this is just divine. Exquisite.
Wait, this is so cool. Songs. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, Hollow Stars. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, play on. Wait, these are so cool. Oh my gosh. Wait, I kinda need that one. Wait, these are so funny. Oh, wait, this was cute. Who is this one? It looks so familiar. Wait. I want to say Miyabi, but I don't think it's Miyabi. Unless it is Miyabi. These are so cool. Wait, can't you play? Can't you play the Archers? How do I do that? Time to investigate. Plus 49 is Miyabi, you're correct. Yes! Oh wait, okay, now I need it. What's this? Classic, easy. Let's go easy because I need easy baby mode. I need the Miyabi one. Whoa. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Yay!
Let's go again.
Okay, I need to buy the Miyabi cosplay. Wait, that was new. I've seen that one. Why am I green? What is this? I'm purple! I need the Miyabi one.
Thanks for watching. Victory!
Next.
Let's get this stream started.
Oops.
Live!
Hi, Aja. How are you doing? Nap time? Cosplay 16 as Estelle. No wonder it looks so familiar. Oh my god. I was like, hold on. Wait, I'm kinda getting caught. I think every character has at least one Hollow Star. Okay, I need all of them. This game is so cool. You gotta look
See
for
you next
cosplay
time.
16 for all of them. Wait, I need to wait. Hold on. Let me do some research. Uh, I need to see them. I'm just gonna go on the wiki. Oops, not that one. Hmm. Uh, if I just search for the Whole Stars ones, will it show? There's a Reddit thread. Oh my gosh, Polka. There's so many. Oh, Fubuki has Oga. This doesn't even have all of them. No Tavia or Flayon on cosplays, I think. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, maybe these are old. Maybe they added new ones later. There's another thing in this game though. Yeah, I know! I don't know how to unlock that. Wait. I wanna play it. I had the 750 coins. Okay. Okay. I need to log in. I need to log in for my Oshi. For the Kami Oshi.
Let's get down to business. Live! What's up?
Flowers, flowers, flowers.
KO. And we're back. Live! Harder!
Come on.
Crazy! More? What's up?
Empty your pockets.
Oh, come on! Marry me?
on. No! Oh
KO. See you
Get
next
bombed.
stream. Victory.
Next. Oh, I can't just fight all of them? Okay. Boba delivery, yeah.
Welcome to the show. I'll show you how
Are we
exciting.
still waiting? I got some pretty flowers for you. I think this is the bullying here. I missed. I need more money, please. I've only seen like a big cool animation for Ina.
Thanks for watching.
I wonder if Ollie has on.
Victory.
She actually did an actual Ollie setup. Did I? I'm just button mashing. Oh, was it with the purple circle thingy?
Say hi to the viewers.
Yeah, I don't even know how to activate that. It just comes out. Oh! That's the thing I was trying to figure out how to do before. The heck? That was useless. That's cool though. I don't know what I did. I was trying to figure it out before. Ah, no. I do like Ollie. She's fun to play.
See you next time. Victory.
Yay!
Let's get this stream started. Live. What?
Whoa! What was that? Wait, that was cool. Yeah! Falco and final boss are tough. Really? I'm also on easy though. No, get in there. Go, go, go. Ooh. Go, go, go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
KO. See you next stream.
Yay!
Victory.
I almost died. Who's the boss? Oh. Error.
Let's get down to business.
Oh no.
What's up?
Oh no.
Marry me. I got harder.
Is this cooked? Come on. Come on. No! Oh my gosh. She does so much damage. Oh my gosh. No, 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 no!
Thanks for watching.
That's a lot. She does a lot. Ooh, item. Win a fight after using a single move 30 times to unlock. Oh. Whenever you KO with a move, it increases in power by 20% for the rest of this run. That's crazy. That was crazy. I bet it was the bouquet. We go again. You can unlock these on the arcade? Apparently. Oh, come on. Okay. She does so much damage. Oh my gosh. The flower spam. Yeah, I think it's so funny. Here, I have a gift for you. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Don't clip this. Okay.
See you next time.
Ollie! Okay. No more bouquet sprout. We're gonna log in.
Say hi to the viewers. Live. Watch out.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. Stop! That's revenge for the flower sprout. Okay. 3 times? No! I think it's cooked. Oh.
See you next stream.
Wait, this is hard!
Let's get this stream started. Live. Yes, watch out. Hey there.
Why did she do so much damage? No! Oh my gosh.
Let's go again.
No, please. Go, go, go. Oh my gosh. This is really hard. No, Ollie!
Thanks for watching.
Final boss is hard, but I've seen worse players complete it. There's people worse than me? No way. This is the only thing stopping you from getting NF5. Oh my gosh.
Let's get down to business. Live.
It's like I'm at tier 401. Come on. I can't go above her because then she attacks with item. What the heck? This is bullying. This is bullying. Go get NF5 after stream. I'm only missing Mako from the set. Oh, come on. Can you stay in my little attacky circle thingy, please? Oh my gosh. NF5 is plus like that. Yeah! It's Anna's 5th event. The one on global server right now. This is hard!
Welcome to the show. Live.
Please, can I breathe? Oh my gosh. Holy. Oops. Oh my gosh. Doing us in that game too. Yeah. Oh wait, I'll be right back. Rain is here. Hello. I'm back. I got a strawberry yogurt smoothie kind of thing. And I also learned how to block. Yeah, yeah. Yummy. Okay, I know how to block now. You didn't know? I was trying to figure it out. I was like, how are they blocking? What button is that? Rain has enlightened me.
Say hi to the viewers. Live. Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it works! Crazy! No, I'm just having fun. Oh, frick. If I go above her though, she attacks with Ayano's attack. Okay.
Let's go again. Live.
Okay. What the flip? Stop! Oh.
See you next stream.
Jumping is very risky in this game. Yeah, I'm learning that the hard way. If you grab them, it'll break their blocks. Really? Okay. I know the grab button.
Let's
I
get down to
didn't know how to
business.
block. That's crazy. Gosh. Please. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh. She's coming at me with the chainsaw. Can I, okay.
Welcome back.
I'm just gonna, this is the part where I struggle for like the rest of the stream. I'm gonna die.
Thanks for watching.
What the heck? This is the suffering part of today's stream. Why does this happen every time? It doesn't even matter what I play. Oh, what the? No! Oh my gosh. I was too busy watching and I almost slipped off the sidewalk. Okay, I told you to get home safely, not like get run over. because I don't have the Miyabi skin. Maybe that's why.
Say
To
hi
win,
to the viewers.
I need to be the Hollow Star. Please, 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 please. 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 Please, please. Yes, 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 yes.
Let's go again.
Alden I. Please, please, please. Oh my gosh. She's singing. That's her strat. No, please. No! Okay. I just have to win the next one. No, I'm gonna lose. No! My record is probably like 20 losses. While active, your damage output is increased and you will not die upon hitting 0 health for 10 seconds. That's crazy! With the power of friendship.
Let's get down to business.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Welcome back.
No, please. No! That's an item for the other game mode.
Thanks for watching.
Like the regular one? This is really hard. What the heck? No. Okay. Please. 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 Yes! Yeah!
See you next time.
Yay! Wait, we did it!
Victory.
Oh my gosh! That took way too long. Yay! Yay! Cosplay 4 is given for completing arcade. Really? Wait. I wanna see. Oh. Oh, this one. Oh, this was cute! Wait. I don't think I have enough money though. There's no way that gave me enough.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
How much are the cosplays? 300, okay. I need this one. Achievements menu.
People have... Kick-a-dee-key! Welcome to KFP!
Oh my gosh.
Tonight, we will be looking at all the milestones in addition to the show.
What is this? Pick up a blue axolotl. What is that? Where? How does one do this? Whoa. Virtual Frontier Run. What is that? This. Additional mechanics. Uh-oh. Virtual Frontier is hard? Oh no, is it? Accessories are passive items in Virtual Frontier which power up your character. Each has a unique effect. Hit the opponent repeatedly. Your accessory has a chance to inflict decay. Oh, that's the purple. Interesting. Some accessories only activate under particular circumstances. You're holding the Hitodama. Hitting an aerial opponent while grounded will set them on fire. Oops. Interesting. You can hold up to 3 different snacks at a time. Each can be consumed by pressing its corresponding input. Foxburger tosses a projectile. What? What's the button? Oh, it says up there. What the flip? K plus item. Is it this? Wait. Oh, space. Freezes the opponent. Wrinkle the burger thrower. Have a limited number of uses. You can refill snacks at certain locations in the game. Consuming them all will prevent you from using them unless they are refilled. Okay. What is this? Consume all your onigiri. Yummy! Wow. Walking is a basic low-risk movement option. It's the safest way to move around. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. I was trying to go back. I was like, what is... Why are we learning how to walk? I do want to end soon, so we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna... Let's try medium. With Ollie. The Iron Mouse one is so cute. I like this one though. I don't pay attention to these ones. I probably should. You can get the Miyabi already. Yeah, but I want to unlock the Archers. I need enough for both of them.
Welcome to the show.
Whoa. This is medium? She's coming at me. Okay. Oh my gosh, no. Okay. Defeating a hard AI opponent is an achievement for 200 coins. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Actually, that makes sense though. Aww. Girl, chill. You already beat me. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm scared. No! It's so cooked. A hit confirm? What's that? Okay, wait, do I get coins faster from arcade? Oh my gosh, I can have 2 play on Oshi marks. That's so cool. Most used character, Ollie. Yeah! Not really.
And we're back from the commercial break.
With no continues. What the heck? That's crazy. This is so cool. Win a battle with 1 second remaining. Finish a match with 1 HP. Beat the boss while using definitely not poison. 700? That's crazy. What is this? Pick up a blue axle on the first try. Oh. They get the same as regular matches. Oh, okay. So I can farm on very easy. Is that how it works? Who's the easiest to fight? I actually don't know. I don't remember. Okay, we're gonna re-roll that. Can we re-roll? Okay. Sure. Hard achievements give big rewards. Instant chase, yeah. I don't think I wanna fight Coco. I'm a little bit traumatized.
Let's get this stream started.
What? Suck the flowers. Yay!
Victory!
Okay, wait. I wanna. Let's get the Miyabi skin first.
I didn't see you
Wait,
there.
what's the rainbowy ones? Boss character. Oh my gosh. Ah. Here, give it. Hand it over. Oh. Wait, what are these? Wait, they're so cute. Do they have... They do!
No window shopping. KSP stocks forecast no window shopping.
Oops. Haha! I don't know what those are.
Okay, Dankeschön.
Yay!
Don't forget to stream Spikes.
Thanks, Kiela. Ringo really wanted to. Yeah. Beach ball game mode. There's a beach ball game mode? Where? Oh, this?
Welcome to the show. I'll show you how it's done on.
Oh. Wait, what? Huh? Wait. Oops. I'm just hitting the ball. The ring is so powerful. Well, I guess this is practice mode. Oh my gosh, full Moko in the bag. Okay. I think we're good. Maybe next time we can play with Ray. And then we can hit beach balls. Quick train. What's that? I'm just exploring things. Where's the... what I'm doing. This is funny. I'm bullying her! She's blown away by all these cuteness. All these sprites are so cute. Okay. Okay, we're gonna end for today because my little brothers will be home soon and I don't need them screaming. I need to get to tearing. Oh my gosh. Wow, so festive. Let me grab music. Hold on. Gotta close the game so I don't hear the music overlapping. Is the music even playing? I can't hear it. Wait. Oh, it is playing. Okay. Oh, Edward, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the tips and tricks to Idol Showdown. It was very helpful, thank you. We're gonna go heading back to the tearing prison for the rest of the day. Yeah. Unfortunately, I am. Unfortunately. I really like the game. I scout streamers trying it. Yeah, it's really fun. I've been playing Hollow indie games recently because I myself am a well, not really Hollow Life, Hollow Stars fan. I'm a Hollow Stars fan. So I'm like, okay, I gotta try them all now. So far, I've only played Gerard Run and Idle Showdown. And I also played Memento Solace, which is the visual novel that Puppets made for Octavio. I have those VODs up. Yeah, I do. I do like playing Hollow indie games because I think it's really cool. Ringo's gonna be tearing during her stream tomorrow and at the movies on Saturday. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to the movies anymore though, unfortunately. So I will be tearing. Or, I guess I could stream since I'm not going to the movies. I need to figure out what to. Maybe we'll play Hollow. Maybe we'll play Idol Showdown again. Who knows? Or I might just tear. Please don't tear all day. On Saturday, I won't. I have work. Common Hollow Indie Ws. Yeah! Hollow Indie games are so fun. What? I wonder what I should play next. There's so many of them. have to find the next Hollow Indie game. Yeah, I have to find another one to play. Maybe we'll do Hollow Indie Thursdays. Except I think I did Gerard Run last Friday. Oh well. Yeah, there's so many of them. Yeah, I will find another one to play. I love Hollow Indie games. They're so cool. But yeah, I'll be ending for the day. Tomorrow we have a really fun stream. Let me pull up my schedule. I have to send the picture to myself. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting it. Image. Schedule. Oh. Name is already in use. It is? Oh. This is the old one. Hold on. This one? Yes. This is my schedule for the week. Tomorrow, we're playing Peak with Aki and Aviva. We will be playing Peak. Very fun. It'll be our first collab. I'm really excited. Whoa, Peak collab. I know. Whoa, that's crazy. Who would have thought? Yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be really fun. That'll be at 9 p.m. EST tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I also got my panels up on my Twitch page. Yay! Yippee! They're super cute. I'm really happy how they turned out. And yesterday I added a super sneaky. I added something to the Discord server. Super sneaky last night. I drew it really quickly. Yeah. Super sneaky. Not really. I just added it last night. Oh, you found it so fast. Well, yeah, I have sticker, Otsudingo sticker. I also commissioned another emote from another artist, so it's not gonna be Rain Art, but I have another emote that they just finished it today actually. So I'll be getting that soon, and then it'll be up in the Discord server. Super cute. That isn't the super secret one though. But yeah. Tomorrow, Peak collab, and then I'll be off on Saturday. Unless I decide I want to stream. We shall see. Keep an eye out. I might stream. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say for today. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching me struggle with Idol Showdown. It's really fun though. I'll have to play it with Rain sometime. And then get absolutely demolished by him, but that's okay. That's okay. It was a great time. Yay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Today was me mostly just kind of testing the waters, seeing how I like it. Yeah, I'll definitely stream it again sometime. That was really fun. Let me. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I haven't used my commands in so long. I've been in tearing prison, so I almost used the wrong thing. Got my Discord and my socials. And if you have any other games, I also have a suggestion form that I almost misspelled. There we go. Suggestion form is there if you guys have any games to suggest for me to play. My favorite Ringo Link. Oh my gosh, please. Did you submit any more horror games? I haven't looked at it in a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'll play Parasocial someday. Who knows? I have a list. A list is crazy. I'm just gonna have a stack of like suggestions from you. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Yes, peak tomorrow, and then nothing on Saturday. But yeah, thank you for coming. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. I'll definitely see Aki tomorrow. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, or sleep. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Otsu Ringo. Bye bye.